How's it going, everyone? Mega Masher is here with a very special video, and I say special because I've had quite a few of my subscribers come to me and ask me to do a video on Zoroark. So here it is, guys, a special Pokemon review featuring Zoroark. So sit back, relax, enjoy the ride because I got quite a few set ideas for this epic monster. So here it is, Zoroark. It looks pretty freaking vicious. You might not want to tangle with this beast in a dark alley. And speaking of dark, that just happens to be its typing. Now, it is weak to the likes of fighting, bug, and fairy. However, you are immune to psychic and you resist ghost and dark, which, I mean, it's a pretty epic trade-off. However, you do need to watch out for those weaknesses because they are pretty common and are easily able to exploit the frailty of Zoroark. Now, as for its ability, it gets Illusion, which is the signature ability of both Zorua and Zoroark, and what this ability does is it basically tricks your opponent into thinking that you're one Pokemon. That is until you get hit with an attack, and then you revert back to Zoroark. And how this ability takes effect is, say if you lead off with Zoroark, it copies the identity of the last Pokemon in your party that is alive. So, my best recommendation on how to use this, use it with a Pokemon that is weak to, say, Psychic, Dark, or Ghost, and they'll go for that so-called super effective hit. Turns out it's not very effective, and they'll be like, what the hell? And then basically have their head completely scrambled because now they're thinking, okay, what the hell do I do now? As for its stats, let's take a look at them. So it has 60 HP, 105 attack, 60 defense, 120 special attack, 60 special defense, and 105 speed. So, taking a look at this guy, it's clearly not going to be tanking hits anytime soon. In fact, close to a simple breeze could blow this guy away. But that's okay. There is Focus Sash for that. Now, take a look at its offensive stats. 105 attack and 120 special attack is quite respectable, and in both of those stats have very nifty moves of boosting them. If you want to run a physical attacking set, it has Sword Stance. If you want to run a special attacking set, it has Nasty Plot. If you want to run a mixed attacking set, which is actually one of my set ideas, then you can do that too. And base 105 speed puts it in a above average speed tier, because there's not a lot of Pokemon that can outspeed this thing without either boosting its speed or having a Choice Scarf to boost its speed. So, with that being said, let's move on to the first set. So this first set here is going to exploit Zoroark's ability to be quite the menacing physical attacker, and here's how it's done. The item for choice for Zoroark, you can either go with Focus Sash if A, you're going to be a lead Zoroark, B, if you're afraid of being knocked out in one shot, well, Focus Sash happens to protect you from being one-shotted. Or you can go with Life Orb to further boost the damage output of your moves, but at the cost of 10% of your HP at the end of each turn. But considering how Zoroark is kind of like a glass cannon, Life Orb does work well with it. The ability that we're going to be using is Illusion because that's the only ability it has. As for the EV spread, 252 is going to go into attack, 4 into defense, and 252 into speed. And we're going to be rocking with the Jolly Nature to give you even better speed in this situation. As for the moveset, the first one is going to be Sword Stance because what this does is it boosts your physical attack by 2 stages. The next move that we have is known as Low Kick to give the big FU to the likes of Tyranitar, which would otherwise crush this set. The next move that we're going to be using is known as Sucker Punch, and Sucker Punch, coupled with the fact that it's a Dark type move, and Zoroark is a Dark type, therefore it's going to get stabbed, further boosted with a Sword Dance and Life Orb power. Man, that's going to hurt. So any Pokemon that would think twice about attacking this Pokemon is going to have a huge strip torn out of their ass with a Sucker Punch. And the last move that we have is known as Knockoff. So say if you aren't sure if your opponent is going to attack or not, you can knock them off, and therefore it's going to not only have a bigger power boost because of the fact that they're going to initially hold an item, it's going to remove the item, and therefore, especially if the Pokemon is dependent on that item, it's gonna kind of screw that Pokemon over. So this right here is a pretty awesome set. Dark and Fighting have pretty awesome type coverage. However, you are walled out by a few Pokemon, and also now that 6th generation has fairies, you're walled out by fairies, so please keep that in mind. That's basically it for this set. I hope you try it out, because I actually might try this set out now that I think about it. So this next set here is going to make Zoroark quite the threatening special attacker that will punch massive holes in your opponent's team, and this is how it's done. So the item for choice is going to be either Focus Sash or Life Orb. Once again, Focus Sash allows for you to guarantee survival of being one-shotted, or you can go with Life Orb to further boost the damage output of your moves at the cost of 10% of your health. The ability, once again, is going to be Illusion, because that's the only ability that it gets, and it's not a bad ability whatsoever. The EV spread, 252 is going to go into special attack, 4 into special defense, and 252 into speed to maximize your offensive capabilities, and to further boost the speed, we're going to be going with a Timid Nature. As for the move set, the first move that we're going to be using is known as Nasty Plot, which is a move that boosts your special attack by 2 stages. The next move that we have is Zoroark's signature move, known as Night Daze. And Night Daze is a base 85 Dark type special move that has a 40% chance of lowering your opponent's accuracy by 1 stage. That can make or break the battle. Like, it's actually really awesome. However, it does have a very small chance of missing because it has a base 95 accuracy. But this move is almost too good to pass up. The next move slot, you can either go with Focus Blast or Extrasensory. Focus Blast complements the Dark type very well by giving it near unresisted coverage. However, Extrasensory allows for you to take on Fighting and Poison type Pokemon, and Fighting type Pokemon happen to be a weakness of Zoroark. So if you're worried about that, go with Extrasensory. If you don't give 2 shits about that, go with Focus Blast, because Focus Blast has its own awesomeness added to it. Bye-bye, Tyranitar. The last move that we have, you can either go with Flamethrower or Extrasensory. If you want to go with Flamethrower, you're going to be punishing so many Pokemon. You're going to be punishing the likes especially of Ferrothorn, Sizer, and Forretress, which happen to have a 4 times weakness to fire, and those Pokemon are annoying as hell to deal with in battle. But if you don't want to use Flamethrower, you can go with Extrasensory. Now mind you, you cannot use Extrasensory in 2 of your move slots. You're going to have to choose. My recommendation would be Nasty Plot, Night Daze, Focus Blast, and Flamethrower. But, like I said, if you're worried about having your weaknesses exposed, then you can go with Extrasensory to deal with fighting types. That's pretty much it for this set. It's time to move on to another one. So this next set here is going to turn Zoroark into quite the threatening and unique mixed attacker. And this is how it's done. So, once again, the item for choice, Focus Sash or Life Orb. In my opinion, these 2 items are the absolute best to use on Zoroark. The ability, once again, is going to be Illusion. The EV spread goes like this: 4 into attack, 252 into special attack, and 252 into speed. And we're going to be going with a Hasty Nature to further boost your speed and lower your defense. The first move slot goes like this: Hone Claws. Hone Claws boosts your attack and accuracy by 1 stage. And then that goes very well with Sucker Punch because it's a physical base 80 Dark type move that allows for you to hit first if your opponent is going to be using an attacking move. The next move is Focus Blast, and Focus Blast benefits very well from the accuracy boost that Hone Claws gives, plus it also gives really good type coverage. And the last move slot, you can either go with Flamethrower to give you even more type coverage, or you can go with Extrasensory to give you some epic coverage and also not have to worry as much about fighting type Pokemon smacking you up. Now, the reason for the EV spread being at 4 attack and 252 special attack is because in this situation, you're going to have no way of boosting your special attack, so it's best to max it out, whereas Hone Claws does have a way of boosting your physical attack. Even if it's by 1 stage, it's still going to hit pretty hard. This set right here is a set that I came up with a long time ago, and I really love this set. I recommend you guys try this one out. So this next set here features a very unique purpose that can actually work very well if you play it carefully. So the item for choice is going to be Focus Sash. That way you can guarantee to live a hit. The ability, once again, is going to be Illusion. As for the EV spread, this time 252 is going to go into HP, 4 into attack, and 252 into speed, and we're going to be going with the Jolly Nature to boost your speed and lower your special attack. As for the moveset, we have Taunt, because Zoroark is a very fast Pokemon that works very well with Taunt. And what this does is it shuts down the opponent's ability to use non-attacking moves. So if you're up against a Pokemon that likes to set up statuses or set up entry hazards, guess what? Taunt is going to completely shut that down. The next move that we have is known as Counter. And what Counter does is it basically retaliates by dealing double damage for Pokemon that hit you with a physical move. So if you get hit all the way down to your Focus Sash, Counter is going to deal some ugly damage to your opponent, and that's going to hurt. The next move that we have is known as Knockoff, and Knockoff is a very good utility move because of the fact that it removes your opponent's held items, which again causes further disruption. And the last move that we have is known as Memento, and Memento basically sacrifices you, but in return it lowers your opponent's attack and special attack by 2 stages each. So this right here is a very good set to use as a lead-off Pokemon. Say if you get hit down your Focus Sash and you counter them and knock them out, the next Pokemon to come in, you can either go with Knockoff to further cause disruption and render their use of their item completely useless, or you can go with Memento to shut down their offensive capabilities and safely switch in your other Pokemon. It's really up to you what you want to do. But this set right here looks very, very epic, and I actually just came up with this one on the fly too, so I hope you enjoy it. So in this set here, we're going to once again exploit Zoroark's ability to be a disruptive SOB in battle. So the item for choice this time is going to be Choice Scarf, which locks you into one move and boosts your speed by 50%. The ability, once again, is going to be Illusion. The EV spread, 4 into attack, 252 into special attack, and 252 into speed, and we're going to be going with a hasty nature. Now, the first move, Trick. Trick allows for you to swap items with your opponent, and if they get a Choice Scarf, they have no choice but to be locked into one move, and this goes very well with disrupting Pokemon that don't rely on attacking to win battles, instead rely on their abilities to be annoying walls, and just like this messes them up so badly. The next move that we have is known as Focus Blast, and Focus Blast is a really solid move to have. Like I said, it goes very well with the fact that it offers very good type coverage, but also smacks Pokemon that are weak to fighting very hard, especially Tyranitar. The next move that we have, Knockoff. Knockoff just further adds to the annoyance of this set because it provides more utility by smacking the item right out of the opponent's hands, and they can't use it for the rest of the battle. And the last move, you can either go with Memento or U-Turn. Now, Memento, like I said in the previous set, allows for you to drop your opponent's attack and special attack by 2 stages at the cost of your life in battle. But U-Turn goes very well with Choice Scarf because it allows for you to scout out what your opponent is going to do. So do you want to disrupt the opponent's offensive capabilities, or do you want to serve as a very lethal and reliable scout in battle? It's really up to you what you want to do. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this very special video on how to use Zoroark, and there's quite a few ways you can use this monster, let me tell you. So, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. If you enjoy videos like the one you just saw, feel free to subscribe for more. And finally, if you want to leave me your feedback on how good this video was or what I need to do to change the way I do videos, or if you want to see something that I haven't yet uploaded, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. There you have it, guys. I hope you enjoy this video, and I shall see you all next upload. Hold that thought. One more thing I want to mention, if you haven't already done this, please check out Poketown. I will leave a link in the description below to that Facebook group. It's awesome. You guys really need to check it out because it has everything Pokemon related that you could ask for. Rate my teams, battles, trades, breeding, all that good stuff. If you're a fan of Pokemon, please check out this group. Now I can finally say, have a good night, and I shall see you guys next upload.